you a couple of scriptures today. Last week we talked about children of Israel. And here God told Moses, he said, Moses, go tell your people, that's in what is it, Numbers 30. Well, we got some folk listening this week. Amen. Tell the Lord thank you. In Numbers 13, it talks about how God tells Moses, he said, there are some children. He said, I promise your children a land that's flowing with milk and honey. In other words, in this place ain't nothing lacking. Everything you need is in that place. It's Ballersville in that place. And he said, listen, I want y'all to go search out the place which I've done you. Now, here's what the word search means. Search means to seek out, to select, to find how to do something in it. Search means I want you to go in that land to inquire, desire, and require. And so they did it. They went and listen, the land that God had given them was just like he said it was. I mean, it was so powerful. When they came back, they brought back evidence to the other people that it was just like God said. They brought back grapes this big because it was a land of more than enough. But when they came back, they not only brought back the evidence, they brought back an evil report. Even though God says, this is your land, go look at what I've given you and come back. Listen, they were supposed to come back and get the other people's mindset ready to receive the promises of God. But remember, I told you, sinew represents the health and the unity of the leadership. Well, the leaders that God sent out to come back and position the people receive it came back with an evil report. Well, what's an evil report? Anything that's the opposite of what God said is evil. Woo! I can work that right there. Let me say that again. Anything that's the opposite of what God says about you or your situation is evil. I know you look like you're down here right now, but if God says you're the head and not the tail, if you start speaking tail language, that's evil in the sight of God. See, you thought evil just meant you had to have a Ouija board and some voodoo dolls and sticking something. No, if you're not saying what God is saying, that's an evil report. You are possessed with a demonic spirit if you're not saying the same thing that God says. I know what the doctor said, but is that what God said? I know what your bank account said, but is that what God said? Now, you say what God said. Don't go out buying nothing else if you know you got zero in that account. Don't go out writing no checks talking about that's faith. I ain't getting you out of jail for no foolishness now. But you don't say I'm broke. Yeah, let's say some words. I'm in a season of financial transition. And see, God, Satan will set you up. He'll set you up to make you confess you broke. You'll let a crackhead talk you into poverty. Yeah, I get a quarter. I ain't got no quarter. You mean you a big-time saved, sanctified minister of the gospel and you ain't got a quarter? You think I want to be saved? When the saints ain't got a quarter? Why would I want to know a God that won't allow the saints of God, blessed and highly favored, to have a quarter? And you don't realize that there was a demonic trick that was causing you to decree and declare poverty over your life. He told them to go search the land. And here's what they said. The land is like you said it was. But then Caleb said, listen, they brought an evil report, but here's what Caleb said. Caleb said, let's go possess the land at once. Now, what does that show you? When you decide to be a success, you step into the minority. "12 people went. One said, let's go get it now. Everybody else said, this is what they said. We can't go get it. Why we can't go get it? Caleb like, what you talking about? I ain't figured this one out all the way, but guess what the word Caleb means? Dog. He was like, woof, woof, let's go get it, boy. Where my dogs at? Well, nobody else. Everybody else was meow. Caleb was trying to go get it, and everybody else was, they had figured out why they couldn't get it. They figured out why they couldn't get, listen, what the Alpha and the finisher, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the creator of everything told them they could have. They allowed what they saw to overrule the vision. What's the difference between vision and sight? Sight is the obstacles that I'm going through. It's the confrontations that Satan will present before you, because Satan's job ain't to make it easy for you. His job is to do everything within the power of the hell to stop you from getting over there. Because football players, when you get over here, it's a touchdown. When you get a touchdown, that puts you in the position of victory. So your opposer, the adversary, has to do everything that he can to stop you from reaching victory. Because your victory is his defeat. But what God is saying, just like I told y'all, y'all going to have one of the best seasons you've ever had. Now, every obstacle in hell going to come to try to talk you out of that. So if you don't have vision, vision is what the voice of God, what the prophet has released in your life. And if you don't hold on to what the prophet said, you'll be moved by what you see. Listen, and you'll be moved out of what you qualified for.